As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona. Nearly a month later, Daniel's Jeep was found in a ravine approximately 4 miles from where he was last seen, and police say that the vehicle appeared to have rolled and landed on its side. Daniel's clothes, his cell phone, wallet, his keys, they were all found at the scene, and police say that foul play is not suspected, but Daniel's family says otherwise. Joining us now is his family. We have Daniel's father, David Robinson, and Daniel's brother, Roger Colley Robinson. I want to thank you both for coming on this morning to talk about Daniel. And I do just want to start first, David, and then Roger, if you can tell me a little bit about your baby brother. But David, tell me about your son.
Thank you for bringing us on, Brianna. Daniel, he's a very outspoken guy from his childhood. Daniel, he's always challenged everything. He challenged his siblings. He want to outdo them academically. Everybody know that Daniel been born without a right hand. He never let that stop him. He done everything from learning how to play a French horn. He learned how to play the trombone. When he got into college, he sought out to be a geologist, and he pursued his dreams, and he accomplished those goals. Graduated with honors. He also is a friendly guy. He always have friends. The College of Charleston down there, I've seen so many of his friends that love him. Daniel's a guy that loves to travel. He spent times with his friend on traveling. He's loved nature. He liked to do hiking. Once he got out here to Phoenix, he liked to hike. He liked to travel, like I say, see nature. And he loved his career as a geologist. He liked to collect his rocks. He has a rock collection. But most of all about Daniel, he's a person that like to bring people together. And even in this moment when he's not here with us, he's bringing everyone together right now. So that's the type of person that Daniel is.
I will tell you, I have been reading about your son, and I have been so impressed by him and what a special person he clearly is. Your baby brother, Roger.
Yes.
And I just wonder, right now authorities are saying that there is no foul play suspected. That's not what your family thinks. Tell us about this.
Well, there's too many things that's going on with this case. From the beginning, from a family standpoint, Daniel, he would never do anything, outside of telling his family. The first indication that I thought that was very strange with Daniel is, after 6 hours not hearing from him at all, he either call his siblings, his mom, or myself. He let somebody know where he'd gone. But once Daniel became missing, and we realized that, I think the quick action wasn't there quick enough, first of all. But then when, that caused me to have to do my own searching and things like that. But once his vehicle was found and the way it was found, it just didn't look right. It didn't sit right with me. That's why I ended up getting my own private investigator. And from that point, everything that was found from that point indicates that, we need to look a little farther than just saying he's just missing.
Roger, the Buckeye police say that the case remains open and active. They say currently we are consulting outside experts for enhanced analysis of the data from Daniel's vehicle. We are also asking anyone with information to please contact investigators. What do you think, Roger, about what police are doing and where this investigation into your brother's disappearance, where it stands?
From what I'm getting from this, I feel that, they're trying to do what's right at this point, but I feel that it's a little too late. Like my father said, had they been quick about it in the beginning, we wouldn't be here 3 months later, still searching for my brother and still looking for answers. I think my sister that lives in Arizona and my father did a lot in the beginning, trying to push and get things moving, pleading with the police, begging for them, hey, can you help us get a search? Can we do an air search? Can we get something? And I just think the lack of action initially is what's leading us here. And now they're having to backtrack and try to bring in outside sources to help search for my brother.
Roger, I wonder what you think about, there is now attention. Look, there is some national attention on your brother. That so infrequently happens in the case of a young missing black man or a young missing white woman. What do you think about that and what needs to happen?
I think that it's sad that we still have to, think in that way. I would say my parents never raised me and my siblings to believe that, the world's out to get us. However, there are some very obvious things that happen, historically, and there's things that still happen today that's not very great in this country. And it just saddens me that it takes this much, to get, people's story out, like my brother or like anyone else. We shouldn't have to depend on other stories or other cases to push our own story. And we just want answers just like anyone else. I think, or my brother or everyone else's brother or father, siblings, whoever they may be, they deserve the same attention.
Look, and Daniel is a very special person. We hope that some more eyeballs on this case might get some more answers for you as you continue your search for him. Roger and David, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. This is Dave Robinson. I was having some technical difficulties here this morning. I just want to tell you all thank you for coming out. I wanted to give you guys a few videos before I actually came on. Like I said, this technical difficulties. So, this is Dave Robinson. I was having some technical difficulties. Okay. All right. Thank you for coming in. I see some people already on the channel came in. So I would want to say good morning, Gwen. Good morning, Dodge. What's that? Chloe, Barbara, everybody who's coming in on the chat. I really appreciate it. Stephanie, thank you for coming out. You knew, thank you for being here. Let's see here. Who else is in here? Gina, thank you so much for taking time to come out. You guys showing up this morning, bearing in with me with everything that's going on with this. I was having some problems with my internet, so I don't know if it's slowing down or what happened, but you guys bearing in with me. I really appreciate that. Let's say photo files, photography. Thank you for coming in. Grizzly True Crimes. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Just want to tell you happy morning, and I hope your day's starting off really well. My day, as you can see, is having a little technical difficulties, but everything's going to be okay. My name is David Robinson. I'm the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson, who went missing on June the 23rd, 2021. He was at his job site. As people may know, and some that may not know, but yeah, he's at his work site, and according to one gentleman that was there at the well site with him, he decided to get in his vehicle. He drove off and went out west, further out into the desert area, and have never been seen again. The vehicle was found about almost 30 days later on July the 19th in the ravine, like the picture behind me, there in that ravine, 20-foot ravine, and it's by a rancher who said the vehicle wasn't there 2 to 3 days prior because he'd been through that area. He was going through the area again, chasing his cattle. That's when he noticed the vehicle, and he alerted the authorities. When I talked to the authorities came out. They said they did a extensive search, and from there, they called me the next day and let me know that the vehicle was found, and they had their theories. Of course, I want to say that when my son first went missing, the backdrop is that I left South Carolina on the next day upon finding out that the department was not going to go out there with a helicopter to search for my son in that desert. So I just want to say, that's what prompted me to come here a lot faster. I'm sure, regardless, I would be here looking for my son because I wanted to aid the department if my son wasn't found by the department. But being that they didn't go out to search for him, I grabbed everything I had, got in my car, and headed out west, and where I'm up here until this day, searching for my son. I started a search out there that covered the well site when only we knew that where he was last seen. And then when the vehicle showed up, like I said right here, I expanded my searches to cover that area. Since having my searches, the volunteers, we found human remains out there in that area, one skull, and those things have been turned over to the police department, and also brought some closure to some families. So, those are things that are happening since the time my son went missing. To date, on June 23rd passed, my son had been missing for a total of 8 months. It's been very hard and very difficult for our family, but we're hanging in there. So thank you all for that. So also, well, to let everybody know that I have some few updates as in what I'll be planning on doing. We have a candlelit visual that's coming up. So right now we have a tentative date. Looking for a date that's coming up really soon. So look at the website, and you have some updates on that coming this Sunday. You guys will have a date where a time and place where this visual will be held. I'm asking you guys to be prepared for that because, see, it's a presence. It's all about numbers. We get the numbers out there. That would definitely be some help with that if you guys show up and show that presence. To send a signal out to the department, to send a signal out to the world. Suspecting to have many people out there. So if you want to be a part, like I say, please watch the website and know that is coming. So also tomorrow having a search out there again every weekend. We had search. I had to cancel last search last week because we had to restructure the search itself. Because many know that I have been doing my own investigation along with excuse me, along with my private investigator doing the investigation. And, we have forensic work that need to be done. So I had to try to collect the money to have the vehicle right here processed. You look behind me, for those who don't know, the orange spot you see back here, that's where my son's clothing was found. All that stuff hadn't been processed. That police department did not do any forensic work at the scene. And, that's problematic in terms of when problematic when it comes to my son. Saying because my son's been missing like almost 8 months. Had they did the forensics work at the scene on the day one that vehicle was found, maybe we would have had some answers. I did have them to do fingerprinting a few days after the vehicle was found. I demanded that at a meeting with Chief Hall, Chief Sanders, and his whole staff, Detective Biffin and the Sergeant Hanneman and some of the other ones. I had demanded them to do fingerprinting. They have done that. I have yet to date know any results. If my son was the only one in that vehicle or there's other people in there. So, things like that. So, that's the reason why it's important we have this forensic work done on the vehicle. As you know, we definitely wouldn't know, for the public interest. You have interest from everyone, like from all over this country, different places in the world, different countries. Have high interest in this case with my son, and we all want answers. So I definitely want answers from my family. We want answers to what happened to my son, and we definitely need to know more about what happened in terms of forensics. If my take is, if I seen this at a scene, being a novice, not even a detective or anything, that's the first thing I would have done at least. Put markers there and canvass the area and make sure that there's no crime had taken place. It's one thing to look at a scene and just automatically put in your own head that there's no evidence of a crime when you didn't even go look for a crime. So as you can look at this picture there, you can see that police department did not even attempt to even look for a crime. So it speaks for itself. My son been missing for 8 months. All this clothing there, for people that don't know, is on the ground. That's everything. That little spot there you see is everything he was wearing on his body, all the way down to his socks and underwear, sitting there on the ground. And also, his personal effects was there. His wallet, his cell phone was in the vehicle, something that a 24-year-old should be attached to, right? And also, we, the family, have been calling since day one. He went missing for hours. The phone just ring, ring, ring until I guess the battery finally died, and then it started going straight to voicemail. So that tells me the phone was active when it was sitting in that vehicle. It was actually making a sound, actually ringing, that type deal. So I can't tell you all those things from the vehicle. The vehicle was turned over to me the next day after it was found, turned over to me and put in my custody. And also the cell phone and everything else, the clothing, was given to me the day I had the meeting with that department. So all those things were turned over to me, indicating that this department decided that they didn't have to have an investigation and that they wasn't even searching for my son. And the reason why I know, because like I said, they gave me everything and they had it marked for safekeeping. Safekeeping means that my son, to them, he just wrecked his car, he just disappeared somewhere, and he's gonna come back and get his things. So to get his things easier, they gave it to me as a father to give back to my son when he shows up. And that's their stance, and that's what they take. However, their stance is automatically changing as the public attention gets on this case, and you guys are constantly calling and emailing and things like that. So that helps out a lot And I really appreciate you guys doing that because we need that. Also, I have an anonymous tip line for those who may have heard something, saw something. You know, if you guys, you know, heard anything or you know anybody that heard anything, you know, go ahead and call that tip line. Leave me a tip. I'm definitely in need of tips. You know, at the thing first started, I was definitely going around chasing leads and stuff. We're going to different cities. They have since dried up. I don't have too many leads anymore. Of course, those leads that we had didn't fan out to anything. But you know, saying we're constantly looking for leads. My investigator and myself, we definitely need those leads so we can go and check them out. Anything, if you remember anything, like I said, you can call this number. It's a 24-hour, 7 days a week hotline. You know, it's live operator. We're there to take your call gladly. If you want to stay anonymous, they allow you to stay anonymous. But, you know, saying if you just don't want to talk to anyone at all, you can still text that number. Text the word tip to that phone number here behind me on the bottom of the screen. And you can still stay anonymous, or you can not stay anonymous. We have a choice you make. So please do that. Also, as you know, I tell you guys the other morning, I've been busy making sure bringing awareness just by with the flyers that going out every weekend. We'll be out there this weekend tomorrow. Also at 3:15, you guys gonna see the place to meet right there on the website. And if you want to come grab flyers to take to your cities, I would be grateful that you do that because, like I said before, taking those flyers to your cities helped me achieve my goal of getting those flyers out to every city here in Arizona and bringing awareness. Another way of bringing awareness, we also pass out those flyers around the city areas ourselves, myself and volunteers that stay along with me. We pass them out in the city areas, put them on cars, things like that, businesses and stuff, you know, things like that. So that helps. And also, I have worked a deal with Lamar, the billboard company, who was able to put Daniel on the billboard. So you're on I-10, especially I-10 stretch from the east side of Phoenix all the way up to the west side, going up to Buckeye. Those billboards will have Daniel up there. Please help find Daniel.com. They have the information about the anonymous tip line, so you guys can look for that. I'm really grateful for your help. Also, right now, for tomorrow, for those who want to come out tomorrow to help search out there in the desert, there's two parts of the searches now. Everything's being streamlined to have anybody who has ATV, UTVs, drones, those specialized things, who have horses or whatever. You will still come out to the searches tomorrow at 7:45 for the safety briefing out there off of Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. We have the gentleman, Evan Short, out there to direct you to where you need and where we need you all to search. However, anybody who wants to do line searches are very crucial to find the things that we have found out there in these deserts, things like human remains and clues. So you guys will be coming out with me down a different location from Sun Valley Parkway. That location would be on the corner of Tooth Hill Road and Elliott. That's in Buckeye. Also, that address would be on the website itself. So you go there and go under the tab to volunteer the search, and you will have a link down there on the bottom, a button there to give you the directions to that location. So I hope you all can come out there and help me because I definitely need some line searches done in those areas. It's a smaller area, but the more people I get, the faster that area can be actually covered. We've been out there before. We found some things that was a high interest. So you know, we need you guys to come out there and help. Again, like I said, this is also not just search for my son, it's also an investigation. So you guys help me out with both of those at the same time by doing the line searches and also going out and search those areas out in the desert where we normally go. So thank you all for coming out again. I will now try to get some of these comments or questions in. Like I said, I started this Q&A for people who have high interest in the case and or new people who just can't come along, didn't know what's going on in the case and have questions. To try to do my best to answer those questions. So thank you so much for coming out. And and bearing with me this morning. I had some technical difficulties this morning to get this thing rolling. I wanted to share a couple of videos with you guys. However, I don't know if it's the internet or it's user error. Either way, I had a little difficulties there, and I'm glad you guys stay here and bear with me. Now, I have a comment here. I pray for your family from Stephanie. I pray for your family and Daniel that he is found soon. I'm so sorry you have to take the lead on searching for your son and brother. Yes, thank you, Stephanie. I really appreciate your prayers. I'll tell you, prayers are very needed, and I'm thank you for your prayers, because without your prayers, I wouldn't have the strength. I'm a believer in God, and I know that He's always there for me every day. Saying I have to stand in the gap for my family, to make sure that my son is being heard, and to make sure this investigation into his case is done properly. So I really thank you for those prayers. Also, I can say, yes, I have to take the lead on this case. This department saw fit to, like I said, not even do forensic work on here. I am a father, and I think any father and a mother would do exactly what I'm doing. Is taking the lead and make sure that their son, child, is everything is taken care of correctly. So I thank you for the prayers. Also, thank you so much. And if you want to leave a question, please put the word question there first, and then next come after that with your question. That way, when I'm strolling down the comment section there, I can actually see your messages, your questions. So that'll help me out. I really appreciate that. So I have a question here from, and if I say your name incorrectly, please bear with me. I apologize for that. But I think it's Kayla. Thank you for coming out, first of all, off of Facebook. Was the well, the co-worker speaks of thoroughly search. Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Thank you for that question. I have had suspicions that well wasn't properly searched or searched at all. Of course, from day one. When I got here in Arizona, the first thing I did was to approach the gentleman who said he saw my son last. He's the only person that was at that job site, and the only person, this whole narrative, everything we know about what happened to my son stems from that. It started from that point, and from his testimony. And one thing this guy said to me personally, I had two witnesses with me that day who can verify that, and also I gave this to the Buckeye Police Department, who decided not to even put that in a report. But this gentleman told me that he was there. He was there from the whole week after my son went missing. He was there to that date when I approached him, that he was there every day and all day at that well site with another representative that replaced my son from Matrix New World. So, this guy told me he was there that day. And so I asked him, hey, look, you was here when the officers came out here to do that search that they say they did with the Firebird helicopter. And he said, well, I personally haven't seen them, but I heard they're supposed to be doing something like that. I didn't see them. They didn't come to the well site. He didn't see the helicopter in the air. So that puzzled me that day. That's what made me not trust the department off of that word, just from this guy saying that he was there. He didn't see any helicopters. And, if he's at the well site, when you think if officers came to the well site to check that well site, he would have seen them because he was there. They wasn't there. They didn't show up. So, of course, that made me suspicious. Of course, that search has never happened. Hindsight now, I had requested that department come to my latest search this year. And they came out. I got them on a live stream I was doing with Grizzly True Crime. And this officer told me that they did not go to that well, and so I knew it. I knew they didn't. I wanted them to do a search of that well that day. They didn't come really prepared. That well also has some equipment on it from the developers who's draining water from that well. They say they're using it for one of the other drills they're using to drill a new well in, and so they have that covered. And we couldn't get access to that well, but they got access to a well that was north of the well that my son went missing, a different well that I had concerns about. Also, they did go down and search into that well. However, they brought cameras that wasn't able to be submerged underwater. So needless to say, that well wasn't searched properly, and I'm still in process of getting that well searched correctly. So thank you for the question, Kayla. God bless you for coming out and help. So I have somebody here, say from Quebec. Chloe, thank you. Thank you for joining in from Quebec. I really appreciate you being here. I wish I could be in Arizona to help. You know, you helped by showing up this morning. I really appreciate that. Your support and, you know, spreading the word is crucial. It's very crucial. Keep my son's name out there is very crucial. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times families will go through a missing person and the case goes cold. It goes dead, as in terms of people lose track of what's going on, the awareness go away, and when that happens, a lot of times these families go without getting closures and find out what happened with their loved ones. So as long as I have you guys supporting and putting out the word out there, it helps me tremendously, you know, to stay on top of everything. Also, thank you, Grizzly True Crime, for reminding everyone to go to the page. Please help find Daniel.com, and also go to the site there, and you can go down there and donate. You know, so we have a donate tab on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com on the bottom of the screen there. You go to the website there. There's several things you can do. You can sign a petition. The petition is very important. You can volunteer to search. The search is very important. And also you can donate. The donation help keep me here on the front line, help me be able to produce things like I have behind me, this banner, to the billboards around the cities for awareness, to all the flyers, and you know, to be able to travel around to get things done. Also, it supports the searches, and that's crucial. And then lastly, I'm constantly asking for funding, because I need to get this forensics work done on the vehicle. Everything, not just the vehicle, but it's clothing and it's personal computer. So all those things need to be done. You know, say it wasn't done by that department. They turned all that stuff over to me. And so, like I said, someone has to say, you taking the lead, Mr. Robinson? Yes, I have to take the lead. Make sure that my son's case is being treated properly. So yes, go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. Thank you, Gwen, for pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, and you can find all that information there. Also, I have have this comment here from Bobby. Thank you so much. I will continue to pray for you and your family. I will also pray for all who are helping in the search for your son. Thank you. They need prayers too. I have people come out there every week, for instance, people donating, people doing all the stuff. I think everybody. We got people from the YouTube content creators helping. So everybody helping and doing different things in different parts, and I want to thank all of them. Because like I said, even at searches, the volunteers know when we're out there, for instance, we're family. So you all are families. We all in this together. Of course, I'm looking for my son. I'm standing up for my family, and he's my son. However, I can't do this alone. You guys decided to be part of the family, and I welcome you. You know what I'm saying? You're my extended family, and I love you just like family. So thank you, Bobby, for being a part. And you're welcome, Amber, for the link. I really appreciate that for you being out here. I think I have a question here. Well, T. Sophia, thank you so much, T. Sophia. A lot of people don't know, but T. Sophia is one of the content creators also who's in the background to help out a whole lot in terms of helping bring awareness for my son, help pushing, help with the donations, and also support in all kind of many different ways. So we have people that's there unseen, but they're there helping a whole lot. Good morning, Mr. Robinson. Has Arizona Bureau of Investigation been involved at all? Well, no. As far as I know, no. Nobody has ever contacted me saying they was involved. Assuming that the Arizona Bureau of Investigation, I'm not sure that's the FBI you're speaking of, or that's the department, but no, I have not been contacted with either one. I did have a letter, as some may know, out to Chief Hall a few months ago with a clear case that my son went missing in unsuspicious circumstances, something that Chief Hall said out of his mouth to CNN on the interview. He agreed. My son, this right here is suspicious. in nature and everything. But however, they haven't even tried to bring in outside sources to help in this investigation, or they don't have an investigation, but to help in this case. Those guys say things like, "Oh, we reached out to other outside agencies and stuff like that." Those agencies, yeah, you'll think of as a family member, a man who came out here and been here since June the 26th last year, should have answers, or have somebody come knock on his door, or have somebody give a phone call, say, "Hey, Mr. Robinson, I'm from wherever agency, working with the Buckeye Police Department, and we are doing XYZ," or none of that. Instead, I don't hear me have phone call at all from this department, rarely ever, unless they need something from me, like, "Hey, Mr. Robinson," instead of getting their own reports and things like that from the phone companies and things like that, they're asking me as a father not doing their job, so they want me to work for them somehow, and I don't. Now, as in like I said, I put that letter in for the FBI, and with that very well put letter, let me describing that my son's vehicle, this right here, was found, and he went missing also in the area where we found human remains, suggesting that the entire area out there is a crime scene. These people, some of those bones are very old. These people have been out there for years. Some was not so long ago, and that is a crime scene. So I made that letter. I CC'd the center manager and some of the other people into that letter, and he agreed to bring in the FBI at that time on a case review. I had my attorney. She sent a letter out to them to request that I be part of that case review, and we waited on their response. Gave them a little time to get back to us. They never did, but they did call the next following week. They say they did it under without our knowledge, or even to let me know what date it was going to be done, and told me that they had them to come do the case review, and that the FBI said to them that they are not coming into the case because me as a father, you, Mr. Robinson, as a father, is doing such a great job on your own. We don't need to come in. And that was the recorded call that I have from that detective telling me that. So that's a problem for me. Me and my family still pushing really hard. Like I say, this vehicle is really close to federal lands. If you take a few steps to the west, you're on BLM land. Now, I'm not a surveyor, like I said before on the last Q&A. If I was a surveyor, I would have it checked, and I would probably almost certain that that vehicle right here is sitting, whether the nose of it or not, is sitting on federal land. That's how close it may be, the clothing, but something of that scene is sitting on federal land. However, the FBI is not in the case, so that's questions there of why not I can't get this moving. Also, I had the Buckeye Police Department come out to one of my searches, invite them out. I sent them to two mines areas that crosses over federal land. So they brought my son's case over across federal land, and they still yet to call the federal authorities into this case. So I'm still pushing on that, still working on it. And as long as, like I said, I'm standing in the gap for my family, and that's something I would never give up on. Also, I have some more comments here. Let's see if I got something here. I guess some, not comments, but some suggestion here from a EE Caroline. I guess connect with local teens who ride the desert on dirt bikes. Trespassing is no big deal, nor is checking out locked spaces without keys. Connect with some gray areas, good guys, if need be. Well, we reach out to different organizations, whether they are bike clubs to drone clubs and things like that. So we welcome everybody who want to come out to search. We do things in the proper ways. We definitely try to reach out to some of these landowners before going on their land, and things like that. So we try to do things in the proper perspective. So I'm really grateful for your suggestions. Yes, we definitely go out and search those areas, but we definitely, like I said, try to do it properly, and we also reach out to other help clubs and things like that. So thank you so much. Thank you, Leslie, again. You say you wish you was here closer in Arizona to help. like I said before, you guys coming out here to this Q&A is helping enough. That means that you're showing interest into this case. You're really probably giving the prayers, and we need that. And also you're spreading the word, because this case will not go anywhere without you spreading the word. Not being here is not a problem. You know what I'm saying? There's all kind of ways you can help. You can go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, just scrolling down the bottom of the screen, and it'll tell you all different ways you can help, whether that's signing a petition, whether it's donating, whether it's also coming out to help on the desert search. Okay, I see here from Dodge Fender. Do you want the flyers sent to each city's police department, or would you prefer another entity? Any specific persons you want us to contact in addition to the Buckeye Police Department? Yes. Well, the flyers, like I said, I have have them coming out and mass produce them, and yes, I want them spread out to every city here in Arizona. That's my goal. That's my reach goal. And if I can get them out there, great. You know what I'm saying? You guys, it's the help. You know what I'm saying? You guys grab these flyers, and like you want to, yes, you take them to those police departments, make them aware. Definitely, because if anybody in those areas in this city, let's say Daniel somehow miraculously got out there and he's out there somewhere, each city need to know what's going on. Everybody need to know, because I'm here in Phoenix, and I can go out past these flyers, and I always run into people every time that never even heard about this case, and they've been here all their life. So there's plenty of room to make people aware, and the only way that can happen is if I get many people to help along. Now, I don't have any preference on the places or things. My main focus was the homeless population, because we don't know what happened to my son after June the 23rd, when he went missing. What happened? So I have to take out, despite of everything I know about what happened with the scene and everything I do know from an investigative standpoint, we don't know what happened to Daniel just yet. So of course I have to be open-minded, and I have to do my due diligence and search everywhere, whether that's the mental health facilities, to the homeless shelters, to the hospitals, to the morgue, everything. You have to check everything. So that's been very productive, and that's been wise, and you have to do those type of things. But there's no special person. So thank you, Dodge Fender, for your question and comment. I have a question here from Leslie Beats. Question: were the clothes Daniel were wearing that the day at the job site found, or were they clothes belonging to Daniel from his vehicle? Well, from the account of the man who last saw my son, the clothing that you see here in the scene was the clothes that my son was wearing that day when he went missing. His safety vest in the orange there, you probably could see right here, was on the ground. That's a 1 foot. You can't really see it that close because it's far shot. But the safety vest is on the ground, and the foot away from that was a pile of his clothing. His pants were pulled inside out on top of that pile, and all of his pile sitting in one pile, from his underwear to his socks. Like I said, everything on his body. One boot was another 2 feet away or so from that pile, and the other boot was tucked under the vehicle. So those things was on the scene. Everything he was wearing that day. There was no suggestion or no evidence that my son had changing clothes, so we just don't know. But we don't have any idea if he had changing clothes or not. Also, the one thing I can say, he had 2 cases of water, untouched water, not a bottle missing, suggesting that if he somehow was leaving his vehicle, we'll think in the hot 118-degree weather, or possibly 120, because if we're out there during that time, it gets really hot that time of the year out in the desert, and a person would take water with them. So those kind of things we're looking at. But no, there's have no evidence of him having changed the clothes, but the clothes that here on the scene here, what was being suggested that he's wearing that day, based on the testimony of the guy at the that was at the well site with him. All right, so we have some awareness here from Grizzly True Crime. The merch line, you have a link there. The merch line is there to bring awareness. We have things from hoodies to coffee mugs. You can check out that link there, and I will try to make sure next time make sure I have it on the description. It should be in the description and down on the bottom of the screen. And you guys can go there and purchase some of the merch. All proceeds go to the GoFundMe and also fund everything, like I say, we're doing here. So you guys check out this nice merchandise provided by through the Grizzly True Crimes, and also everything will come, like I said, to the cause. So thank you so much for your help on that for the Grizzly True Crimes community. Also, please help find Daniel.com. Like I said, all the information there. Thank you, Gwen, for that. It can be found on that site. So thank you so much. God bless you on that. Again, my name is David Robinson. I'm the father of Geologist Daniel Robinson. For those who just joining in, who have questions about my son's case, I had started this Q&A for that. People who have interest of what's going on, if no question is a bad question. You ask the question, if I have the answer, I will give you the answer. If it's something that's I can't give to you because of investigation, I will let you know that. But however, I give you the answers to questions to the best of my ability. As you know, again, for those who are new, my son went missing on June the 23rd of last year, and he was at the well site doing his job. He's a geologist. He works for a company called Matrix New Worlds. Another name is Matrix Southwest Groundwater, as a field geologist, or some would say a hydrogeologist. But what he does, he go out to these well sites. He always meet a representative of that well, and who actually drilled the well. And they go out there, and his job is to test the rock settlements and things that's in the well, and also the water levels that comes out of the well. So that's his job. That day he was doing his job like he always do, trying to make sure that water is safe, make sure that there's a 100-year supply of water coming out that well, that the well is viable. And he was out there doing his job, something that he loved to do. The story is from this one gentleman that after 10 minutes of conversation, my son decided to wave at him, get in his car, drive off, and to never be seen again. The gentleman said he followed the tracks of my son's vehicle, noticed it went out west instead of going out east back to Sun Valley Parkway, where he could have made to the main road. Instead, he said his vehicle had went further out west into the remote area of the desert, where, like I said, my son have never been seen to this day again. His vehicle, however, showed up in this ravine here, a 20-foot ravine, turned over with everything he was wearing on his body, 3 feet away from the car. But Daniel was never found. He was reported that police department did a extensive search of the area with cadaver dogs and low-flying aircraft and all this kind of stuff, and they haven't found anything. Not track, no footprint, no tire tread, nothing out there to suggest that my son was even there in the first place. The rancher who found the vehicle, as you may know and may not know, was through that area, passed this ravine 2 to 3 days prior, he says, and the vehicle wasn't there. He came back again, tracking his cattle, because he always come through that ravine to make it down. If you go south down that ravine, down that little crest there, there is a corral there. That's where the cattle go to graze, to be fed. And he was tracking to see if they made it past there, coming down through that area, and that's when he ran into the vehicle. So, like I said, that vehicle being there would suggest that it had been planted there. However, Buckeye department seen it otherwise. My son, according to them, wrecked his vehicle there. He didn't have any injuries, but he somehow, on their words, had a severe head injury. He crawled out of his sunroof. Because of the head injury, shredded his clothes off, and he went to hide under a tree somewhere to cool off. And maybe he succumbed to his injuries or something. So there's a lot of crosswords in that theory. However, because of hearing that, I got my own private investigator, who in turn, he's an accident reconstructionist, who said otherwise. He found red transfer paint on the side of the vehicle, suggesting that vehicle rubbed something, and there's nothing red in the desert. There's nothing yellow in the desert. Also, now we found to date, next to that red transfer paint, some yellow paint. So, on a close look. So, some things like that. That stuff is not in the desert. So it had to come from somewhere. One of the other things he found is that the damage on the vehicle didn't match the terrain. Also, that vehicle had been wrecked multiple times. The first initial crash made all of the airbags deployed. That was around 1 o'clock that day after my son went missing. And also, it also showed that the vehicle was driven after that point. 11 additional miles was added to that vehicle's odometer and computer reading, and that suggests that it had been driven 11 additional miles, and also that it was cranked over 46 times after the crash. So the thing is, so some of those things is out there in the public. People know about that. However, like I said, the department feels the same. They sticking with their story, and they went even farther after my investigator and I turned over evidence. Evidence that even he found a sock that was close to the well site where my son was last seen, weeks after Buckeye collected everything from the scene. That matches a sock in the evidence bag. So that type deal. They still suggesting they don't want to change their story. They don't want to look at it in any kind of criminal activity. They want to stick to my son somehow just disappear on his own, like one detective suggested to me, wanting to be away from his family and join a monastery to become a monk. Different things like that. They want to stick on that theory and their story, and that's the truth. That's the kind of story they give. However, of course, I'm not going for that type thing. We gave them the evidence. They shut down us. They didn't even speak to me as a father who's been here since June 26th. They don't give me the updates what they're doing. They shut down instead of working with me. The goal was to give them all the evidence that we found, so they can open up a criminal investigation or even look into it. Instead of doing that, they doubled down. They stopped talking to me. They even went so far as not coming to my searches now. I've been crying out here for weeks, asking you guys to donate and help to get this equipment that I need to do proper searches out there. I've been doing that from day one, utilizing your money wisely to conduct my searches. And they have not once took any change, not even $1, to come out there to help me with my searches. Instead, they took resources and hired their own private investigator as in reconstruction. We already have one. I had one. He gave them what happened to this vehicle, but they decided to get one that would put in the report their side of the story and say he's an expert. He's a national expert, because they want to double down on their theory that they want to stick. This private investigator they hired have not even seen my son's vehicle, never seen it personally, never put his hand on it, but yet they put his account into a police report. What kind of investigation is that? What kind of even a person be able to make any comment about my son's vehicle who have never even physically seen my son's vehicle? They going to rely on pictures from third party, and then even went down to a Jeep dealership to ask some workers about some evidence. Hey, this mileage don't match because it's something that happens or something like that. They say from a dealership. Now they didn't go to the company, the manufacturers. Could you guys imagine if I was called, which I am, which I will give you guys a letter in the public soon, a letter from the makers of Jeep, and I'll tell them this department saying that their odometer readings don't match their computer. That's a recall. Do you see any recall on that vehicle with that? No. That the case, if that's the truth on that vehicle would never stand up in court. Why even have a computer system in the car that records those type deals if they don't match? So it does. It is the one tactic again. Like I said, they double down on their theory, and they're gonna do anything they can, everything they can to stick to that, because it makes them look bad. They know on day one they have not done the things they have. They haven't even done forensic work on my son's vehicle, and that's one of the problems we're having. So thank you for your questions, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to give you on that. Okay. All right. I have a question here from Kim. I just came on here. You don't suppose law enforcement is covering something up? I'm not going to suggest anything, but I tell you what, I don't take nothing off the table as a father. In my opinion, as a father, I don't take anything off the table. I don't, accusing anybody of anything either. But you know what? I look at every aspect. Like I said, I look at even from points that I really don't believe. I don't believe my son would wreck his vehicle, decide to wreck his vehicle one day at work. First of all, go to 2 well sites when he could just not came to work at all if he decided to leave life as it is. But he came to 2 well sites that morning. I don't believe that, and wrecked his vehicle somehow. He wanted to be away from his family so bad. He did all of this just to go away from his family and join a monastery or whatever case may be, out there in the world somewhere, right? Butt naked, just walking around. And, but I had to look into those things also. So like I'm saying is my mind is to look at every avenue, every aspect, whether I like it or not. Whether from one suggestion was my son got hooked to some bad stuff or some ran into some bad people, whatever. I look at everything, every little avenue of what could have happened to my son. So I don't rule anything out. Thank you so much for your question. Also, let's see. Thank you, Yanu, for pointing that out. Yes, you can also donate to Cash App, and that's been, that's the okay, you may have a little typo there, but please help find Daniel with $sign on the front, but you make sure you capitalize each word. I added that Cash App for those who expressed to me that they wanted a different way to help fund. Some people are very crucial about the way funding is channeled to my cause because of fees and things like that. People want me to get the exact dollar amount that they send, and I understand that. So thank you guys for making me aware of that problem, and I was able to correct that. So thank you so much for if you can help and you want to donate in that way without fees being taken out for, like I say, GoFundMe and some of these other ones that GoFundMe that I'm using. I have a Cash App now. Also, some suggesting to do other avenues of ways that people may feel more comfortable donating. So I'll look into those also. Thank you so much for all your help. All right. Now, okay, to Sophia, thank you for clearing that up for me earlier. You're asking, did I get to the Arizona Bureau of Investigation? I didn't know exactly if that department you're speaking about was FBI or a different agency, but you say most states have their own state investigation bureau. Arizona Bureau of Investigation should definitely be informed of Daniel's case, in my opinion. In my state, North Carolina, we have an NCBI. I would look into that. I didn't hear anything about that. That's new to me. So if there's anything outside of the FBI other than Attorney General's office, we'll look into that also. Also looking into the state police, things like that. So, that helps a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you all for all the information you put in the chat. Thank you, Grizzly True Crime, again, for putting up the Twitter. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I put a lot up there. I personally run the Twitter for anybody who want to speak with me, things I have on my mind. A lot of times I put it out there on Twitter. So if you want to follow the Twitter, I really appreciate it. We also have not just Twitter, but the Facebook, Instagram, and I need to work on better on the TikTok, and also, this YouTube channel. So again, I want to remind you, because I'm new at this whole YouTube experience, I need y'all to hit that like button that helps with the algorithm, and also subscribe, hit the like button, and share. Those three things will help me out, get my son's name out there in the sphere of YouTube and social media. So you guys can help me out on that front. I need all the help I can in all different kind of areas and capacity. So thank you so much. Thank you for standing here with me. I really need you. Like I said, thank you, your family member. Thank you for being part of my extended family, Kim. As you say, you stand with me. I really thank you so much. Thank you for being here this morning. I have a question here from D Love. It says, can you share the status of the petition, please? And thank you. Well, let me look that up. I think it was at around 150,000 signatures. I just want to make sure that, and I'm grateful for those who have been donating and on the and also signing that petition. That's, like I said before, that petition is very crucial to the investigation. Once I get everything in line, put my timeline together. I've been promising you guys I call it a family report. The police have their report. I have a family report that will be coming up soon, and saying I would share that with you. So, if I had to share a screen, I'm still learning how to use this platform. I would share a screen with you guys, but right now as it stands, I'm at 106,437 signatures. I really thank you guys because I remember when I was down to 10 signatures when I first started, asking people to sign the petition, and I was at 10. So to be at right now at 106,000, I really thank you, and that comes from people who's dedicated and want to help. Like I said, if you have multiple emails, you can sign the petition multiple times. So as long as you have a new email address, you can sign. So thank you so much for your signatures. I need as many as I can. So when I go to those attorney generals or the Bureau of Investigation, things like that, I will have you guys signatures and you all standing behind me. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Also, the tip line. I don't want you guys to forget the tip line. If you have any information out there that I can use, or do you know anything or know anybody who may know something, please by all means hit that tip line up. You can call it 24 hours, 7 days a week. There's a live operator to take your call, anonymous or non-anonymous. You can stay anonymous, like I said. If you don't want to talk to anyone, you can just text the word tip to that number, and it will take you to the form where you can still stay anonymous, or you can, give your information, and you can contact me also through that service. So thank you so much, and that's what I'm saying. Your money helps towards that also, to keep this tip line up, functioning, and just making awareness, keeping this whole thing running. So I'm really grateful for you guys helping out. So also you can follow on Facebook. That's the link there. You follow on Twitter, like I said, Instagram, YouTube, and also TikTok. So all of those areas that you want to follow this case, get information, especially don't forget, please help find Daniel.com, because that's very important for information, rather from donating to being a part of the searches and things like that, and how you can help. Thank you. Again, thank you so much for hitting that like button. Thank you, Grizzly True Crimes, for clarifying the amount on the signatures. I thank you. We're going to get to 150,000. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Crude, for your comment. Let me know anything I can help here in South Carolina. Thank you. Spreading the word. You're back in my hometown, back in my home state. So thank you so much for coming out and being a part of this, and being a part of this family. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But yes, Sharon, I just was on the local news the other night. I thank God for the local channels there, WIS 10 and ABC News, and everybody else who's the affiliates down there to help spread awareness and keeping up with the case of what's going on from time to time. So thank you so much. And again, if you want to donate, you can also donate and sign a petition to please help find Daniel.com for those information. So again, I want to tell everybody thank you for coming out here. The people who just joining in for the first time, I really thank you so much for being here and being a part of this Q&A. If you have any questions, please by all means ask them. If I have the answer, I would give you the answers to the best of my abilities. Those that don't conflict with investigation, or those that I do have answers to. If I don't know those answers, I will let you know. But I think, I've made this, like I said, for people who have high interest and want to know the case and want to know the truth of what's going on and want to get some clarity and things like that straight from the sources. Here I am for the Q&A, also to give you awareness of things I'm doing, like upcoming events, like the Candlelight Visual that's coming up pretty soon. I need you guys to check out the website. Please help find Daniel.com. The information should be up either Sunday or Monday. I'm pushing for Sunday. We have the date and time and place where this Candlelit Visual is be taken. I want y'all to follow the Please Help Find Daniel.com events page that would be displayed there, and it will tell you everything that events that will be coming up and events that we have done already. So just keep eyes on that for future reference. So thank you so much for that, for coming out to help in any kind of way you can. All right, let's see. Yes, and I do agree with this, Amber. My coworker friend lives 1 hour from Buckeye, and she has never heard about this case until I told her. And that's the reason why it's important for me to have these banners putting out these flyers out here. You guys coming out and grab these flyers and take them to your cities and spread them out there. This is when you guys share it on your social media to your friends and your family, like you did, Amber, and also the billboards that I have out there coming out from the east side to the west side of Phoenix, bringing awareness. All that stuff matters, because what happens is awareness, first of all, put pressure on that department. It also helps me in terms of donations, and it also help with people to volunteer. I need all of that. We need all of that to function, to keep this thing going and find my son. I really thank you guys for their hard work and efforts and your labor of love, and your heart, for your prayers and everything you do to be a part of this, because we all in this together. It takes a whole community and to have things going. So thank you so much for that. Also, I have any more questions, please put them on there on the bottom. I'm looking through this comment section to see if you guys have any questions. Again, my name is David Robinson. I'm father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who was missing on June the 23rd of 2021. He was at his work site doing his job, what he loved. He's a field geologist and worked for a company called Matrix New World. He was at a job site for a little over 10 minutes, and he reportedly waved off to the only guy that was at the well site with him and drove off farther into the desert, where he was never seen again. His vehicle was found in this ravine. In the picture behind me, a 20-foot ravine. It looks really flat there, but it's really deep. Ravine wrecked. His clothing, everything he's wearing on his body is right here on the ground, 3 feet away from his body. I'm sorry, from the vehicle. I'm sorry, 3 feet away from the vehicle, with everything he's wearing on his body on the ground. Like I said, from his socks, his underwear, to everything on the ground. His boots, another foot or so away, but a few feet away from the clothing, and his other boot was tucked under the vehicle. So his cell phone, his work computer, laptop, all that was recovered inside the vehicle. His wallet was inside the pants pocket that's laying in the pile of the clothing. The money, no money was in the vehicle. However, the local police department decided to say that they don't see anything wrong with the scene, that my son crawled out there with a head injury out the sunroof, shredded his clothes off, and went off to his married life butt naked, out there in the desert. Went out there and hid under a tree somewhere to cool off, and just started his life or something. He's coming back for his things. So that's where we're at today on that theory. They doubled down, like I said, on that theory by getting their own personal investigator who backed their story up, despite of the private investigator that I hired, who found evidence not only from physical evidence. He physically touched the vehicle, physically examined the vehicle, but from the very data that this department pulled from the vehicle off a black box. My investigator looked at that data, read the data correctly, pointed out to them their either way they didn't look at it correctly, or they just didn't know how to read it. One out of two. They didn't know how to read the data that they had in their own hands, that they turned over to my investigator, because they didn't have a case. They told my investigator and his witness, he said they told him personally they didn't have an investigator. That's what investigation. That's the reason why they even turned over the black box data to him. They turned over the vehicle to me the next day after they found it here in this ravine. They turned over all this clothing, and they marked it for safekeeping, saying that they believe, I'm sure, in my opinion, that this man come from South Carolina. He come looking for his son. We give him his things back. He would go on his merry way, and that'll be the end of the story of Daniel. But you guys and myself, and you know that I'm a type of father that would not let that happen. I've been here since June 26th to make sure that didn't happen. I know they're shocked to see me still here, and the only way I'm still here is because you guys have helped me to be here with donating. You helped me remain here, and you helped me get the equipment that I need to continue the searches. You come out to volunteer, that keep me out there covering that ground. The desert is huge. So far, just from after the vehicle found, not before, because we were searching out there before the vehicle was found, but since the vehicle was found, we did over 19,000 acres we covered out there from line searches. and things like that out there in the desert. So let you know that we really was doing a lot of work. And the funny part about that is that we only put a dent in that area. That area is very, very big out there. Some areas that still need to be searched. However, I had to cut my searches last week for funding purposes and, to try to re-streamline it. Like I did this, like I'm doing this weekend here tomorrow. We cut some expenses with the razors and different equipment I normally use, and I definitely still need out there. But we had to do what I had to do what I have to do right now because I'm trying to get the funding up to get this vehicle processed and the clothing and everything else from my son on the ground. His personal computer at home, all that stuff need to be analyzed and need to be some forensic work done on it. And it's very costly, but it need to be done. The police department decided, like I said, just look at that and say, we don't need to do anything. We don't see no blood in the vehicle. Let us collect this thing and give it back to their family. And that's exactly what they did. They didn't take any forensics. You'll see in the markers. This is one of their pictures. No markers there from the scene to show the canvas, everything to see what happened, try to put it all together and all that kind of stuff. No, they just dragged that vehicle out of there. They drag it so roughly, they bust the tires. Drag it out of there, put it at the compound, and call me the next day and say, hey, we found this vehicle. You need to come get it. And if you don't get out of here, we're going to have a total away and you're going to have to pay storage fees. So that's the way the story went. And I'm still to this point trying to find out what happened to my son. So thank you so much for having me be here. And thank you for the love for Daniel. I really appreciate that, Amber. I love my Daniel merch. Need more. Thank you. Yes, for the merch line, you can find that on the bottom of the subscription. It's very nice little tumblers and all kind of stuff that you can get from hoodies to coffee mugs with support for Daniel. All proceeds go to this cause here to help me stay out here in the desert, help the investigation to keep going, and get equipment and things we need to properly search. So thank you so much for everything you all are doing. Sign a petition to everything you can. So thank you so much for everything. The question is, D-Love, if Daniel had a head injury, even more of the reason to move expeditiously to locate it. I say the same thing. This department is really extensively pushing in their report, sensationalizing something about some love story between my son and a young lady. They rather put things like that, rather put the opinions of a coworker about my son trying to diagnose. None of them is a professional to diagnose anything, but they rather put that and also have a theory that my son may have a head injury. But all of those things that they're pushing would suggest that he's a dangerous person, and yet they still haven't went looking for my son as if he was in danger, like you said, with a head injury or that he has some kind of mental impairment that he need to be seen. He's going out there to do something, and we need to go look for him. They didn't approach it that way. The first search was done almost 3 days later after he went missing, and the second search was done about a little over 2 weeks after that, and then the third search was done when his vehicle was found. And you call that searching for a person? And each of those searches that they say they did, which some is questionable, they haven't found anything. They haven't found a construction cone yet. I've been out there searching before this vehicle showed up there with volunteers, and we found human remains. That's a lot of them. Despite what the police department is saying, calling them human bones, we don't know. Me and my search coordinator, we have thoughts about that. We don't know how many people exactly it is, because all I do know that, for instance, if you see more than two tibias, for instance, 2 arm bones or 2 leg bones, that means it's at least 2 people, right? Because we only have 2 of each. So long story short, we found multiple bones out there that would suggest multiple people. And also we found the human skull. So those type things that we find out there doing what we do as civilians, but yet they have specialized equipment. They have cadaver dogs that we don't have, certain ones that's trained a certain way. They have search dogs and all that, and they haven't even found anything they're claiming from my son from the scene or anything. And the crazy part, from the scene, when they said they did the extensive search for these dogs and all the stuff, the skull that we found was sitting on top of the ground on a few hundred feet away from there, and they said they didn't find anything. So, that kind of things make me question anything that department have done in terms of looking for my son. I don't see the urgency there. I haven't seen it since day one. And that's the reason why I'm here
to find my son and take the lead and do it myself. But I tell you guys, I need your support and I need your help because I can't do this alone. So I really thank you. I'm looking at the time, trying to make sure I get these questions in. So we're going to keep on going. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for helping you to keep me on track with the information there for the Cash Apps and also the GoFundMe and also the search and things like Grizzly True Crime. Thank you so much for everything. If you want to send an email, contact us. Please help find that. Thank you so much for that reminder. There's a lot of I need all the help. So you guys coming in and remind me of some of the things I could be saying up here. Tip line, yeah, that's a direct number to me. If you guys just wanted to show your love and say, hey, how you doing, Mr. Robinson, or whatever the case may be, you can go down to that number there. You can also leave a tip there. You just want to leave me a personal tip. Yes, you can do that too. But I can't tell you, unless you're calling me from a burner phone or something like that, it's not anonymous. I don't know your name unless you tell me, but you can call me directly to that number if you just want, like I say, show some love or want to leave a tip, or you want to whatever, share something. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All the love. I get phone calls, get text messages from people in different countries, like Grizzly True Crimes, Gisela K from the Netherlands. I get people from South Africa to different parts of Africa, and also from Australia, some from Canada. So people from all over the places have shown interest in this case, and I really appreciate that. So that always a helpful thing for me. So thanks so much. Like I said, you can call or text the anonymous tip line. That helps out. So thank you again for your help. I'm looking for any more questions. If you have questions, please put the word question first before your question, so that way I can see it as I'm strolling down. I try my best not to miss anybody on here. So thank you so much. If you want to go to the TikTok, that's the TikTok you can find is please help find Daniel. I would do a little bit better doing videos and things. I find it kind of hard dealing with TikTok because one of those things. I kind of laugh when I first even thought about TikTok. My children came to me and said, "Hey, we need to do this TikTok. People like TikTok." And I told them, I said, you're not gonna catch me. I'm not that kind of man to be dancing around. That's all I thought. TikTok is about. I'm not gonna be dancing around on the screen and all. No, that's just not my style. That's not who I am as a man. So, but it's a very good tool to get word out. So I would be sitting there doing better with the being able to put information out there, like little short clips. I think it was called Shorts, and you put things like that on there to just give you a little bit of information. Thank you, D-Love, for your comment of me doing a great job, doing the best I can. No family who have a missing person start off as a professional or anything like that. John Wash didn't start off as a professional, but one thing we have is passion. When your child go missing or your loved one go missing, you're gonna do everything you can to go find them. And you will not stop, you will not quit. I'm not a quitter. I love my son and I need him. And it's my job and my duty to protect him. So I'm gonna try to do everything I can, the best way I can. Like I said, when I first got here, I didn't know how to organize anything, but I was able to organize a search. I didn't know how to do an investigation, but I'm doing it very well. And all that from the grace of God. And he's always there for me. He's protecting me. So I'm really grateful for him being there. And also for you guys. Like I said again, I sound like a broken record, but it's true. You guys are like family. You're showing your love and your support. And that's the only thing that's helping me to keep this thing going. I'm learning as I go. I'm getting better and better as I go. So hopefully, unfortunately, but hopefully, once I find my son and bring him back home, I can also help other families in their area. If they was to have a missing loved one, they can learn some things. I can share some experiences with them and help them along their way. So thank you so much. All right, I think I have the petition. Can we sign twice with different emails? Yes, you can. I encourage that. Yes, you can. If you have multiple email addresses, please go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and you can hit the petition tab to sign the petition, and that helps a whole lot. So thank you so much for that. All right. And that's on the bottom here. Pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. You can go there, and like I said, you can sign that petition multiple times. long as you have a multiple email addresses. So thank you so much. I hear D Love. Thanks so much. I see a hashtag here, buy Daniel's dad a coffee. And thank you so much for that, putting that up there, and also the hashtags. That's one thing I'm learning too about hashtags. Hashtags are a very good tool. And I think, okay, James Brown, that's one of my battle buddies. Oh my gosh, man, I'm glad to see you here. That put a big smile on my face. This is one of the guys that we went to war together. We're out there doing our thing for this country, and I'm grateful to see you out here on YouTube with me, brother. I really appreciate that. That really puts a smile on my face. We always gonna be family. That's what we are. In the military community, we're family. So everybody, James Brown in the house, he's my brother. From a different mother, but we're brothers in arms. So he's my battle buddy and good friend, family member in the military community. So thank you, James, for being here. I would say Brown, we go by last names, but thank you, James, for being here, supporting. I really need that. And thank you for spreading the word to the other brothers and sisters in our unit and things like that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I've been reaching out to all of you, and I'm really glad to see you. That made my day. Also, thank you, Nu, also for please donate and sign the petition. Thank you. Thank you. I really thank you all for doing that. If you have any questions, like D Love, thanks so much for putting that first. Put the word question there, and I can see it, and I see it coming. Mr. Robinson, do you know why so many names were redacted out of the police report? Well, yes, of course. One thing about that police report, yeah, you have to redact names, of course. Can you imagine everybody have information, certain information from people, things? So I have unredacted versions of that police report. I don't have any unredacted report, the new reports. As far as I know, that department have at least about 4 reports out now. They gave me a partial report before when the vehicle first was found. They gave me a partial report that day when I was out there asking them to do this forensic work. They promised me a full report because they was finished their investigation. They turned everything over to me. They had nothing else to investigate. They put it out on the news. We have no more leads to follow. Once everybody became aware that I made a bit loud noise on there, they deleted it off their Facebook account. But they said they didn't have any more leads. So why they redact those type things? I see the reason why, because I know those names and things like that. So that's part of the investigation. I'm sure that's part of the investigation, and some of those names and things like that can't be put out in public. So I don't even put them out in public, but I do have those unredacted versions of their report. So the original reports. Now the new reports that come out now, I don't know what they have under there. I don't have unredacted version of that because they changed that report over and over again. I match up what they have now to the original report they gave me, full report they told me at the time. There's some sentences and lines being changed and things like that to fit their narrative and what they want to portray to the community. So I tell people all the time, the police department write their reports, and I would say to you, always question the report. When you go down through them, just use a little bit of CS, some common sense, and you'll see some things that just don't make sense, don't add up. And I can tell you the reason why. Once I put my report together, they be using their reports at that. The 3 that I have so far. I think it's a 4th one, and you will see how certain things change as the you guys put pressure. How certain things change, how it was changed from not being a investigation at all to them claiming now that they always been investigating. But they saying they're investigating without this vehicle that I have currently in my possession from the day after it was found, and all the clothing and everything, the cell phone in my possession. So what they're investigating, how they're investigating at all, if I have everything. So you got to ask yourself little simple questions like that. How's that investigation without evidence? It don't make sense. How you got an investigation without forensics work? I don't know. I don't know what type of policing work that is in the city of Buckeye, but I don't know. But I just know this a novice at nothing would say that just don't make sense to me. So I say just use a little bit of that, and you'll understand the reason why I'm fighting so hard to get the FBI into this case and why I'm trying to get this forensics done. And if you guys can please help donate and get me the funds I need to get the stuff processed, I really, truly appreciate that. I really need to get it done as soon as possible. All right. I think let's see. Okay, thank you for the YouTube blog with Thea Estrada Gruel. If I say your name wrong, please forgive me. I'm trying to get it right here, but you say I have a YouTube blog and did a video on Daniel. I found out he was missing through Facebook. I hope he is found soon. Sending prayers. Thank you so much. And that's exactly the reason why it's important for you guys to share my son's story. Because, like I said, it's a room that for everybody. There's many people out there just don't know. Reaching out even to celebrities that don't know. Reaching out to some news outlets. I've been I've been able to put my son's story from CNN, NSNBC, Joy Reid to Roland Martin to Red Table Talk to Dr. Oz. But yet there's still room of people that haven't even heard my son's story. And I'm still working on those things. So thank you for sharing that on your YouTube blog. It would be nice to sit down with you and give you some more information. If you ever need that, you can go to hit me up on my number here. I have I put it here on the screen on the bottom there. You can go there and you can send me a text message, and then we can arrange some things where if you want to on your channel get some more information, I can help you out with that. So set something up, or like I said, thank you so much for sharing. And I guess thank you guys for doing the same thing, because we definitely need the help I can get to get Daniel's name out there a lot farther. So thank you. Again, I'm still new to this YouTube experience. Don't forget to hit the like button, to share, and also to subscribe. And I tell you, thank you. Thank you, New, for reminding me of that. You guys are helping me a whole lot going down this timeline, down this comment section. And thank you so much. And also thank you, Gwen, for reminding me. You go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. I'll be having a upcoming candlelight vigil, and I ask you guys to please come out and support. The more that we have, the more participation we have out there for this vigil, it'll be helpful, because I'm trying to make a statement and also bring awareness. There's a lot of things need to be said out there. I do have speakers already set up. I have a bishop, a pastor of a church, a mega church that will be out there, and two activists that will be speaking, and also myself. So I have all the information up there. Hopefully by Sunday for the date and time, give you guys enough time to prepare and plan for, like I said, for the candlelight vigil. And if y'all be a part of that, please be there. I really appreciate it if you can come out. Thank you so much. Also, if you need to donate, just GoFundMe there, link there. Also, I really appreciate you guys for your donation to help me be here in Arizona this long. It's been 8 months, and I'm still here strong. I'm sure that the department thought I was going to be gone by now. It's not going to happen. I'm pushing to do everything I can to make sure my son get the justice that he needs. This case has been done properly, and that I'm going to find him. I will find my son. And with your help, that it's going to be possible. With God's help, I know all things are possible. So thank you for being here to help me with this endeavor. So thank you so much. I'm running time low, so I'm trying to go down this timeline. Like I said, if you have any questions, please, by all means, put the word question before your question, and I can actually see it a lot easier. So that way I won't miss your question. So thank you for the comment. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to be the best I can. And, that's just automatic. Any father, any mother would be doing the same thing I'm doing. There's nothing unique I'm doing other than just being a parent. My son is missing, and it's my responsibility as a father to be in the gap for my family, to look for my son. If nobody's going to do it, I have to do it. And regardless if they do it or not, I'm going to do it with them. Like I said, I reached out to this department at day one. I was in hopes that we work together. I was able to share with my daughter. What you think? How they got this information about what's on my son's phone record? They didn't get a warrant. They didn't get a warrant or anything like that. They didn't get a warrant for phone. Like I said, with phone calls and things like that, or the bank statements and stuff. They literally got it from a phone, sitting across the interrogation room, across the table, looking at me stroll through the phone, and they wrote that report that they have obtained phone records. I mean, they don't have no paper copies from me, but they did look at the phone screen as we strolled down to show them certain transactions of my son's account. I can tell you that there has been no movement in my son's account, so and everything that he owned is still there. So that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, I would hope that there'll be some movement, so they indicate that he's out there somewhere. But we don't have any kind of movement like that. So still looking at those accounts, and like I said, on time. I know that that department get information on that. They don't share anything with me, so I don't know what they're doing. They keep quiet. They don't talk to me as a family member. I've been here since June 26th. Once June 26th last year, once we turned over the evidence that contradict what they want their theory to be, and with real evidence, hard evidence. This is evidence that this paper is in black and white. It's their own evidence that they turned over to my investigator. They just not to read the data, but instead of them, working with me and my investigator at the time, they doubled down. Got their own investigator to say what they wanted to say, and saying my son somehow did it to himself and that he's coming back for his things. So, that type deal, suggest those type deals. So, and then they double down by not speaking to me. They don't call me. They don't give me updates. These guys call me whenever they need something. That's the only time I hear from this department. Or they came out because I put them on blast by CCing the city manager and things like that, other officials in letters to them, inviting them out to the searches. If you look at the front of the policehelpfindaniel.com, that front page is always there. They invite us there. They only came to 2 of my searches, and those 2 was the time that I invited them out. They have since come out to the searches, so no help at all. So thank you for your question. I'm still looking for that. More questions if you have it. I'm getting real close down to the end of this broadcast. Getting to the end of my Q&A. Again, my name is David Robinson. I'm father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June 23rd. And I'm here doing a Q&A for those who have high interest in my son's case. It's very hard getting misinformation out there in the public. I heard things from, I work for the, I know one guy had this whole full YouTube channel describing that I work for the government and this whole conspiracy theory, then it's not real. So you can hear all kinds of things out there. And this guy have a full channel with his paperwork and all kind of stuff he got going on. So I'm telling you, you can get misinformation out there. So I'm trying to give everybody opportunity to hear directly from me and not from other sources. So you can kind of compare what you hear out there in the streets versus what I'm telling you here on this channel. So I really get grateful you guys coming out to support that. I'm trying to do it every week, every morning, but that's very tough. So some mornings you may see me skip and push it until another morning. But thank you guys for showing up this morning. I see a lot of people coming into the channel. So really thank you for the support and the love. Again, like I said, my son went missing on June 23rd. I've been here since June 26th looking for him. He was at his well site doing his job. The only gentleman that was there with him said that he waved off after being there for 10 minutes, roughly 10 minutes, and waved off to him, drove out west into the desert, where he was never seen again. On July 19th, this vehicle showed up on right here in this ravine, right here behind me, in the 20-foot ravine. Everything my son was wearing his body is right there on the ground. You can see there on the ground, everything from his underwear, socks, shoes, everything on the ground. The rancher who found it said the vehicle wasn't there 2 to 3 days prior because he was there looking for his cattle. When he came back again, the vehicle was there, and he alerted the police department, who in turn look at the scene and don't see nothing wrong with it. They just say, hey, your son wrecked his vehicle. He escaped injury, but somehow he still had a severe head injury, and head injuries make you peel off your clothes. I mean, you crawl out the sunroof. Head injuries make you peel off clothes. And I can tell y'all this. I'm sharing something with you. A lot of people don't like me sharing it, but I have a head injury. I had a head injury from Afghanistan, and I didn't peel off my clothes. So I really don't believe that theory, but that's what they tell me. He peeled off his clothes. He went to go hide up on a tree somewhere to cool off, and maybe he succumbed to his injuries. And then the other detective from that day told me suggested that my son may have just wanted to be away from his family. He staged all of this to be away from his family, to join the monastery, to become a monk. That's their theory. And to double down on their theories, they hired their own investigator who support what they're saying, what happened at the scene here. Despite of my private investigator, who's an accident reconstructionist, who gave them a report of what he found months before they hired this guy, who have never, the crazy part about it, the investigator hired have never even seen my son's vehicle, never touched it, never took pictures of it, never sat in, didn't do anything. The clothing, never saw it, touch it, anything. I'd doubt if he even been out there to the scene, but he looked at pictures and went to a dealership and talked to some workers at a dealership to back up their story. So, I mean, that's carelessness to me. That's I don't care. I'm going to double down on what I believe, what I say, and you're going to have to accept it somehow. No, they ran to the wrong father. I don't go for stuff like that. I question the police. They work for me. I don't work for them. And they're going to do their job as far as I can help it. So sorry, you guys. I'm tired. You can see sometimes I get really show my emotions to how I really feel about this case. I have a missing son. And, you can imagine how painful that is for me and my family. And so I try to keep my composure, but sometimes that composure can come out. I do have emotions. I'm a human. But you know what? Like James Brown, who came along here into the chat, one of my brothers, my battle buddies from war. I'm a professional soldier, and we are trained to keep our mission first, and we know how to do that. So my mission is my son. I came here with that in mind, and I'm going to stay sharp as I can and make sure I complete my mission. I will find my son, but I'm smart. I know I can't do it alone, and I know you guys need your help. So that's why I ask for your help, ask for your donations, ask for your time, ask for you to share. Sign a petition, all that stuff. All that stuff matters because, one thing that families do not get when their loved one is missing is this kind of action. And so that's the reason why I run into many families that talk to me all the time. They have loved ones that have been missing for years, and they never have gotten an answer. They never got anything from their departments. And one of the things I learned since I've been doing this, you need to question those police departments. You got to always remember they work for you, and don't ever trust anything they're saying. As far as you know, you be calling and say, hey, y'all go look for my loved one crying on the phone. He could have his foot on the desk, say, hey, we're out here right now looking for him. I'm sorry, we ain't found nothing yet. No, you need to be there on them, micromanage them, micromanage that police department. Micromanage them, they work for you, they're taking your tax money, and they need to do their job right, the way you need to have it done. So, we need to make sure that you know your power as a family member, and your power is behind the people. That's the reason why I had that petition. I asked you guys to sign that petition. Go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and sign the petition. That helps a lot. I have a question here. Mr. Robinson, was Daniel's sister alone when Ellie spoke with her? When they talked to my daughter a couple times, the only 2 times was with me at first. We did, like I said, in hindsight now, they took us into the interrogation room and they asked us questions there. From there, they did contact my daughter probably a few times up there. I'm thinking once or twice from phone, not as in the person phone call, a first person visit. So they did talk to my daughter, over the phone, ask questions and things like that. So, and that's pretty much the extent that I know that they have contacted my daughter and also for myself. But thank you for that question, D-Love. I really appreciate that. If anybody have any more questions, please put it up there. I'm going down the timeline. I'm running out of time here. I'm a little over my time now. I really appreciate you guys coming in. If you could donate, and thank you if you're new, donate, share the story. Please help find Daniel for all Daniel.com for all the information you need. That really helps me a whole lot. If you have an anonymous tip, or if you have a tip that you just want to share, please go to the tip line. The numbers here behind me is on the bottom of the screen. That tip line is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week hotline of live operator to take your call and all the information you need. You can stay anonymous if you want to stay anonymous. And if you just don't want to talk to a person at all, you can also text the word tip to this number, and the form will come up. You can stay anonymous if you like or not. You can also contact me through that tip line and share your information. You just want to be anonymous, but at the same time want to speak to me, you can speak to me through that tip line. So I wouldn't know who you are, but you can leave a comment directly to me, I can answer back to you and things like that. Also, if you just want to talk to me personally on my cell, you can text or call this number with information you may have, or you just want to say, hey, Mr. Rosin, I'm thinking about you. Those things help, morally. I need all the help I can in different ways. Sometimes just encouragement, that helps a whole lot in terms of when you're out here searching for son. A lot of families suffer. I mean, suffer, man. We suffer. A lot of people don't know the pain that you actually feel unless you actually going through it. A lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? You wake up one day with your loved one, the next day you're looking for them. You know what I'm saying? And 8 months pass by. I'm used to talking to my son. We have a conversation for 2 hours. I talk to him at these well sites that he works at. I miss those things. Those things are hard for me in my family. It comes in spells where sometimes I feel like I don't even want to get out of bed, because you get feeling so down about what's going on with your child. So thank you so much for your support. If you know something, say something. Thank you, Yanu, for that. If you know something, say something, please. By all means, it's been 8 months. Daniel has a mother that's at home suffering. I mean, she's really suffering bad. You have the siblings that's suffering. You have 2 grandmothers that's suffering. You have aunties and uncles. You have whole family dynamics. You have friends. You have friends I go I hear about. I don't get to go on their page, but I hear about his friends out there, and I thank them for out there trying their best to spread awareness about Daniel. They miss their friend. Daniel's a very friendly guy. You can imagine, you look at the pictures. He has a lot of friends. A lot of friends he meet. People love him. He's easy to get along with. And, thank you. Thank you guys for helping. I see Sunset Dragon. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning to you. And God bless you for all the hard work. Thank you. That's what every family would do. Every parent. Thank you so much for that. That's what any parent and every parent would do when their loved one is missing. Would be out here on the front line and search for their loved one. So, I'm not doing anything special other than just being out here and know what I have to do, for my son. And I'm not going to let this department or anybody, come in the way of me find out what happened to my son. So they're in the way, even as a police department, they're in the way. They just need to move out the way and bring in some people who are willing to help and work with me. So, and I need that. That's all I ask for that department. Hey, you guys not willing to do that for me, and you think you're not satisfying what I'm asking, then please, by all means, step out the way. You're in the way, you're like a roadblock. Just stay out of the way, call in the FBI, call in some other agency to work with me to find out what happened to my son. That's all I'm asking. So thank you. Thank you for the love for that. You are human. You are doing great under these circumstances. You got this, guys. Got you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. Things like that. And I really appreciate that. The encouragement and things like that. I'm going down kind of fast, going down the timeline. I run out of time, and I want you guys to. I'll try to get in these questions if I can find them, and so I can answer them. If I miss your question today, I will be back on again for a Q&A, and I will be answering your questions again. Please save them for me and ask them. Like I said, if I have the answer to them, I'll give it to you. If it's something, an investigation I'm doing, I will not be able to answer, but I would let you know that if I don't have the answer. So I made this Q&A just for that fact, for people who have high interest in the case. They want to know something that's coming really from me as a family versus something you hear out there in the street, because I hear all kinds of stories out there. I had to take those stories a lot, and they don't add up, and there's be things people say and I guess to sell a story and things like that. So thank you so much for everything that you are doing here. I'm trying to see if I see any more questions coming down to the end. Let's see here. Thank you, Leanne, for being here. Thank you, Batia, for being here. Thank you, Yanu, of course, for all the work that you're doing. Thank you, Gwen, for all the work you're doing. Everybody's doing work in the background. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Julia, for being here. Thank you. I really appreciate that comment too. Daniel and your family are lucky to have you. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. I read something different, but thank you so much for that. Yes, I'm lucky to have them too. So thank you so much. Thank you for the information, Gwen, for the Cash App. Please help find Daniel.com to GoFundMe. Please help find Daniel. Like I said, the website, it would be on the bottom down here. If you guys can go to the website, it'll tell you everything you need, from signing a petition, how you can help, to donating, to whatever you need information. Like I say, I'm having a kind of like visual that's coming up. All that information will be there for you. Thank you for that, Vatia. I really appreciate y'all. We're strengthening your resolve to continue your search for Daniel. He will, and I'm definitely relying on y'all to be there. Y'all to have my back because without him I can't do anything. So I'm really grateful. So thank you so much for that. Prayers up for your family. Thank you, D Love. I really appreciate that. Contact Mr. Robinson. Yes, if you want to contact me directly, that number there is a direct line to me. If you want to just leave a tip directly to me, you don't want to put on tip line for whatever reason, you can do it there. Or you just want to make a comment, like some of these great comments I like to hear, the encouragement to keep me going. I love those too. If you have any suggestions, things like that come directly to me. You also can do that through the tip line. You can stay anonymous through the tip line. So you can leave your tip. And the tip, like I said, you want to talk directly about your tip to me, but you want to stay anonymous, you can use the tip line. Or, like I say, some people use burner phones, to have things like that happen in the past, but not in a good way. Contact. So thank you guys for everything you've done doing out there. And thank you, Nana. I think how you said, if I say your name, if I say your name incorrectly, please forgive me. But say hello, prayers. Daniel is found and brought home. I did sign and donate on the website. He needs to be found. Prayers. Thank you so much. See, that's what I need. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your donation. Your donations helping have things like this, helping me to be here. Your donations helping me through my searches, helping me have equipment to properly search, and also is going towards this vehicle. And everything you see on this ground need to be processed. His cell phone, his clothing, that vehicle itself, his personal computer, all that need to be investigated. All that need to be forensically searched and taken care of. So that costs money. I'm working on that, and your donation is going towards that. And I really appreciate it. Every dollar. That also happened with the, like I said, the flyers and things like that, putting awareness out there from the billboards from the east side of Phoenix to the west. Things like that. So it helps with everything. I really appreciate you guys. I'm really out here. Been out here since June 26th last year, looking for my son, and I'm trying everything I can, the best I can, and I'm doing everything I can, and I'm not giving up. And as long as you guys helping me, that help me in my efforts, I really appreciate it. You guys, please spread the word. Please share and spread the word. I really, really need that. And there's a question here: why hasn't it been processed? And that's the question that we asked. That's why I had the meeting with that department on a few days after the vehicle was found. The first thing I asked was, why was it processed? I'm gonna tell you the reason why I asked that. They gave me one picture that day. The next day after the vehicle was found, they gave me one picture to go by and two maps. They gave me two maps to show the location where the vehicle was found and one picture to go by. And he is point out some things. He pointed out the clothing, point out what he thought the theory was. And then he took me to that vehicle and then threatened me if I didn't get it out of their compound, they was going to have a total away and I would have paid storage fees. Now, I was a little angry with that. After they gave me 3 days to pull it out of there, they gave me a chance to talk to some confidants I had to secure a meeting with Chief Hall and the staff, and I was able to get that secured. And when I did so, that was one of my first questions because I look at that one picture. And if you look at this picture, this is one of the pictures now. I got this after the fact. They only gave me one picture at a time. When I look at that picture, I just kept looking at it all night. One thing I know was missing is markers. I'm not an expert, but I do know if this is a picture he said he took from the scene, where is the little markers? So I know I've seen too many crime shows and, TV. We have enough TV, to know that when cops actually do an investigation or they would canvass in the area, they would do whatever they find. They put a marker there, take pictures so they can have a future reference. What's going on, right? None of that was done. So of course, when I had that meeting, that's the first thing I asked them. Why was it? I had it, mind you, one of the guys I think was here in the chat. He was my witness, and also I record everything. And they know that. I tell Buckeye all the time, it's no secret. This is one part of the state. I don't have to say anything, but then I record everything. And we sat that meeting there, and they described why they did not do forensic work on the scene. The Sergeant Hanahan man, or whatever his name is, said it's because they did not see any blood in the vehicle that they didn't do this forensic work, right? Of course, in that meeting, the reason why I got this picture here is because Chief Hall kept using plural pictures with S, and I cut them off. Hey man, you keep saying pictures, but y'all gave me one picture. I'm a family member. You gave me one picture. Where's the pictures you say you have? So they promised me to give me every picture they have. That's how I got these pictures. Most of these pictures here. I got a lot from the rancher too, but this is what I got from them. And one of the things I asked in that meeting was that why you wasn't done, like I said, is because no blood was found in the vehicle. I asked the question of how they even know my son was in it, and they had a smart mark. Well, it's his vehicle. He had to be driving. It's his vehicle. That's their stance on that. So, I kind of look at certain things like that, and they didn't take me serious, and they didn't process my son's vehicle. I got angry in that meeting, and I asked them, I demanded them to do fingerprint or something. Do something. They say they agreed to do fingerprinting on it, and they did. They see it in the report. They didn't give me no credit for asking for that, but they put it. They say they did fingerprint it. To this day, I don't know what the results of that. They didn't tell me anything about it. And like I said, they shut down. They don't talk to me as a family member. I've been here since June 26th, but they feel like they can just not talk to me at all, right? So they're not talking to me at all. So I don't know what they're doing at this point. I don't have any answers. So I'm relying on you guys to help me to get these answers. I don't even know what's on my son's clothing. I need to know if he was actually in that vehicle. I need to know who else was in this vehicle. I need to have his electronic examined. I need to know the conversation that was going on in his job, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff need to be done. Work that this department don't think it need to be done. They, like I said, they turned all the stuff over to me the day after the vehicle was found. They gave me this vehicle, saying, and they marked the evidence bags for safekeeping when they gave me those things, meaning that my son's gonna come back and grab his things. It's nothing to investigate. You look at this. It's nothing to investigate to them. They doubled down and got the investigator to say that also. So that's the thing that keeping me here as a father. I'm not letting it go. Now I may come from South Carolina. I'm a resident here also in Arizona. Now, I've been here long enough. I have a Arizona ID now, and I've been here this long, so I'm a resident of Arizona also. And I'm not going nowhere. They had to get used to this. They had to do their job, and I thank you guys for helping me to make it happen. So thank you so much. I want to leave you guys. I don't see any more questions here, but I do want to leave you guys with just one video clip. And then after that video clip goes off, I would definitely be ending this Q&A. And I hope you guys come back and support again. Like I said, please, if you come out tomorrow, I have my searches tomorrow. It's going to be broken out and streamlined a little different. They're broken off in 2 parts for the desert search. I have anybody who have UTVs, ATVs, drones, cadaver dogs will be coming out tomorrow. You guys will be meeting off of Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. You'll see that on the website. And anybody who don't have those type of vehicles and they want to just do foot searches with me, I really need that, Barry. That's part of my investigation stuff. And also, that's how we find human remains and things. If you guys can help me out with that tomorrow, I'll be out there doing that. I have Evan, he'll be doing the one off Sun Valley Parkway, and I'll be doing one at the other location where it's all on the website, the address. So you guys can meet me out there on that corner of Tooth Hill Road and Elliott Road. So you guys can meet me out there. We will get a line search set up out there and get these areas searched that need to be searched. And so you got you on foot, you got a car, you don't have those specialized vehicles like UTVs, ATVs. Yeah, meet me out there to that line search, and we can do a line search. You'll see me out there. You can meet me, and if you have those specialized equipment, drone stuff, please go out there to Sun Valley Parkway, Cactus Road, out there, and Evan will show you where we need searches done there. And all that matters. We all that matters because it's like I say, I have to do my own investigation, to my own search, to my own forensics work. Nobody's gonna do it. If it's your loved one, nobody's gonna do it. What would you do? You'll do the same thing I'm doing. So that's what I have to do. So thank you guys again for coming out to my Q&A. Because like I said, without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do it. But I'm gonna leave you with this video clip, and after that, I'll be gone. Thank you so much.
Families that we're about to meet that are holding out hope in regards to being able to find their loved ones. Daniel Robinson went missing 4 months ago. This is the last photo his family has of him. He's a 24-year-old geologist, last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona. His overturned Jeep and belongings were found in a nearby ravine. His parents, David and Melissa, need our help. We wanted to give you an opportunity to tell us about your son, Daniel.
I had a moment when you showed me his picture.
Yeah.
Just looking at him, it's so difficult. You want to talk to him, you want to hug him. Daniel is my hero. Just reading his text, telling me how he feels about me. Leaving the very last message on June the 21st, telling me how he loves me.
Hey, Mama. I just wanted to see how you're doing. I just want to let you know I love you. And, yeah, we could talk later. All right, bye.
Oh, wow.
And that was the last time that you heard from him?
Yeah.
David, when was it that you guys decided that something was not right?
On June 23rd, I received a phone call from my daughter. She alerted me that one of the co-workers came by and was searching for Daniel. We weren't getting any answers to his phone. They said he was last seen at his job site roughly 9 o'clock that morning. And I just knew immediately that things wasn't right because Daniel, he would never, ever, ever not answer his phone, first of all. And the second thing is not tell us where he was going.
Right. I think that's really important because the idea of patterns, I'm really big on that, even with my children. What David is basically saying is that a pattern was broken. And so he saw immediately that this is out of character.
Right.
Something is wrong.
And that's so important for police officers when they start to investigate these cases. One of the first questions they'll ask is was this normal? Was this something he would do? Because the thought is maybe they're just not calling you. There is this tendency to say, why don't you just give it a little bit?
Right.
You might hear from him. He might come around.
Yeah.
But it's got to be, this is not like my son. And you are the one who knows your child.
Right.
To have them understand, no, this, what's out of the ordinary.
David, is it my understanding that you've relocated to Arizona to lead the search for your son?
Upon putting in a missing person report with the Buckeye Police Department, they said they was going to go out, search the next following morning because it was too dark when I called in. And once that morning came and they counseled and alerted me that being that my son is grown, he's an adult, he's allowed to leave. When I heard that, that was unacceptable to me, so I grabbed everything I could and I just started driving. I made it out here and I've been here since June the 26th.
Got it.
Searching for my son. We're going to find Daniel.
Was it difficult to get the police to just take seriously that Daniel was missing?
Yes, even from the first day. You know, we know our son, and you know, it was very out of character. Things didn't add up. It was very difficult just to even get movement. They did a first search for my son, which is 3 days later. I haven't gotten any support from the police department. I mean, nothing. We have been fortunate to get our own cadaver dogs and search dogs, even the aircraft, drones. We've been on it. The searches, full of volunteers. The difficulty has been getting media attention. And I stayed up many nights, emailing, texting, calling, visiting, whatever it took just to get something going. It lasted for 3 months, 3 hard months.
David, you actually hired your own investigator, right? You're saying the word we, but this does not include the police. You've had to do this independently, right?
That's correct. That is correct. I say we because everybody who come out to the searches, we're family. That's my extended family.
That's right.
Yeah.
We put long hours out there in 118-degree weather. They're dedicated people. The things that I feel, and my son's mother, is the things that the people that serve and protect should be doing. We found ourselves doing it.
When you talk about the searches that you've been putting together, how were you able to do that?
I didn't know anyone when I hit the ground here. I didn't know how to get involved. I never organized anything in my life.
Right.
So I just reached out to any and everybody I could. What I was trying to do is find people who actually knew about the desert conditions.
Got it.
When you found the car, all his belongings were inside the car, correct?
Well, it's a rancher found our son's vehicle, and that was on July the 19th. When I received the call, it was 9 o'clock that morning, the next day after they found my son's vehicle. The first thing the detective said to me was, "Hey, Mr. Robinson, we found your son's vehicle." That just took my breath away, thinking that maybe I hear something else horrible. I'm going to tell his mother. I said, "Okay, when was it found?" And he told me it was found the day before. And I asked him, "Okay, why you guys didn't call me?" "We didn't want to disturb your sleep." That made me uptight. My son's clothing, everything he had on his body was about 3 feet away from the vehicle in the pile. His safety vest that he wore the day he went missing was another foot away. His cell phone was in the vehicle, work computer. His wallet was in the pants pocket in the pile. I know that's difficult for his mother to hear all this. Excuse me, give him a moment. One of the things that struck me the most, my son is only 24 years old.
Yeah.
They're attached to their phones. I know they are.
Right.
And I couldn't see him leaving that behind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What did the police tell you as to explain? Did they offer any theory of the case whatsoever to try to find him?
Yes, they gave me not too great of a theory. When I got out there, the detective gave me a briefing. He pointed out my son's clothing on the ground. He pointed out the vehicle's damage. He said that the vehicle flipped and rolled and landed on the side. He told me that there was no blood found in the vehicle, indicating our son wasn't injured. He said that he was wearing a seatbelt because of the way the seatbelt locked, so he know the seatbelt was on. All the airbags were deployed. He told me that my son obviously escaped out of the sunroof, and that he must have had a severe head injury. He was delusional, decided to take his clothes off because head injury make him hot or something or the other. And he just walked off and probably rested under a tree somewhere. And that was his theory.
I think we're all dumbfounded for a moment, trying to think about all the things that do not add up
Right.
about this. But I keep looking at Mom.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about what every mother sees talking about their child. I know he's 24 years old, but you don't see a 24-year-old. You see the little baby, and you're hearing these things. What are you thinking?
When his father first told me that the vehicle was found, and then they started talking about cadaver dogs, I just screamed. And I just couldn't believe this can't be real. I was feeling like I'm in a nightmare.
Yeah.
I was on the floor. I cried. His father kept saying, Alyssa,